It is Wednesday, June 19, and President David Granger has recommitted to free and fair election as the most recent government outreach in Bartica wrapped up. President David Granger today restated his commitment to the hosting of credible general and regional elections, citing the importance of house-to-house registration to this process. The president was speaking on the sidelines of an accreditation ceremony hosted at the Ministry of the Presidency. He reminded that the Ghana Elections Commission (GECOM) is a semi-autonomous agency and preparation for and administration of elections are now vested in the Commission. As explained in his address to the nation on Wednesday, President Granger said when GECOM makes known its readiness for the elections, he will announce a date for its hosting. Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu has come out swinging against his critics, declaring that Naga ain't gone and Naga ain't going nowhere, and that he will continue to serve Guyana. More in this report.
Addressing hundreds of residents at the Bartica Community Ground, Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu declared in song that, quote, he ain't weary yet. This is in response to a newspaper article which stated recently that, quote, Naga done.
Moses ain't get weary yet. He ain't weary yet. He been in the struggle so long, dear Lord, he never get weary yet.
Explaining why he switched from a white shirt to a olive shirt jack, the Prime Minister said, quote, he was back in battle gear.
I am back in the battle, and this is a fight that will not be surrendered by me, even though I'm 2 years short of 60 years in political life. I ain't weary yet.
Also speaking at the event were the Minister of Finance, Winston Jordan, the Minister of State, Dawn Hastings-Williams, and the Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joseph Harmon, who spoke highly of the Prime Minister's performance.
I don't care where you bring any other body from before him. That is the best Prime Minister we've had in Guyana for the last 27 years. And we are proud of our Prime Minister. We are proud of our coalition partners, and we are proud of the process which produces our leaders in our coalition.
With videographer Joan Jordan, I'm Paul McAdam for InfoHub.
Guyana's youth are called on to support this administration that is working to ensure their development and continue the transformational changes that are ongoing.
Following the 7th installment of the Government Comes to You outreach, the first community engagement was held at the Bartica Community Center ground.
Every young person all across this country, this is what is going to happen coming up to the elections. We will stand up for our government. We will stand up in the media. We will stand up on the television. We will stand up at the street corners. We will stand up in the internet cafes. We stand up in the betting shops. We stand up all across this country. We will stand up for our government.
The future of Bartica lies in your hands. The future of jobs for your young people. The future and continuation of better infrastructure.
There's so much other investments that you could look forward to in Bartica and outside of Bartica. We're talking about a new bridge across the Demerara River. We're talking about driving from Georgetown right through to Brazil, going through Brazil right up to Canada, because already you have that highway waiting for us to complete our piece. We're talking about alternative routes to get to Bartica and to different parts of the country.
From Bartica, Kiuni Mazuruni with videographer Anil Silal, Natisha Isaacs for InfoHub.
From mud dam to asphalt, the construction of the Berbice-Patara Road is set to vastly improve the lives of commuters traveling to and from regions 7 and 8. Shaquille Bourne has that report.
The works, which began at Denham Bridge in Region 8, will culminate at 5 miles in Region 7. One of the residents of 5 Miles Housing Scheme shared their views on the soon-to-be-completed roadway.
Well, we used to take long to come to work and have to walk and the mud and so on. Well, I think that the government have a bus that they bought for school children, and it would come up to the 5 Mile scheme, and all the children will be able to go to school every day because they don't have to walk. Right now, they have to walk.
Regional engineer within the Ministry of Public Infrastructure with responsibility for works in Region 7 provided InfoHub with an overview of the project.
About 33% is currently complete. The first phase of the project would have entailed the completion of 500 meters of concrete road. So the second phase would see the completion of another 1,000 meters, bringing the total to approximately 1 mile of road being completed.
The deadline for this project is October of this year. Balgram clarified why concrete surface was used over asphalt.
The rigid pavement would provide a better wearing course and generally a stronger pavement for these heavy-duty trucks that generally traverse the road. The asphalt itself is very prone to damage due to leaking lubricants and stuff on the road, which you would find is something that is highly present on these bush roads.
The flagship road project is the first major upgrade to the roadway after nearly 20 years of neglect. Reported from the Bartica-Patara Road project with videographer Adrian Prasad, Shakil Bourne for InfoHub.
When we return, 4 million in presidential grants for Bartica villages, Radio Bartica bridging the information gap, and small business owner gets house lot at government outreach in Bartica. These stories when we return. Stay with us.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
Welcome back. The communities of Agatash, Itabali, Batavia, and Dog Point in the Cuyuni-Mazaruni region received close to $1 million each for community projects under the Presidential Grant Program.
The checks were handed over by Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Sidney Allicock during the Government Comes to You outreach in Bartica Region 7. Agatash, Itabali and Batavia will utilize their grants to equip their sports grounds with floodlights, generator and washroom facilities respectively.
The project is a washroom facility at the play field because as of now we have none. So this check, the presidential grant, would aid us to have a better funding system or anything that we want to host.
Most of our community is young people. We have lots of young men rather who like sports, and our girls will also be involved. Every Sunday they would go to the play field to play. Only recently we received solar lights to the community building, which provided current to the building, which we never had for all the years. So they would come to the building to play. Now they have requested if we can develop the ground so that they can have games.
Over at Dog Point, a meat center is slated to be constructed. CDC Chair Thomas John said that the project will create employment for many villagers.
We will be selling like all species of meat, like beef, wild cow, labo, deer meat, and also including fishes. We're going to buy meat from people who will supply us.
Minister Sidney Allicock explained that the project is part of the administration's effort to provide support to various communities based on their needs. This year, in excess of $700 million was allocated for green sustainable projects in the hinterland communities. Of this amount, over $200 million will be expended on presidential grant projects. From the Bartica Township in the Cuyuni-Mazaruni region with videographer Kenyan Bacchus, I am Seneca Thorne for InfoHub.
Since assuming the mantle over a year ago, the announcers at Radio Bartica have transformed the lives of thousands of Region 7 residents by being their source for timely information.
Danielle Singh Bishun, Martina Ambrose Jingori, Carlita Williams, and Sienna Prasad. These young radio broadcasters are some of the voices keeping Barticans abreast with all that is happening within their township and further afield. These young broadcasters are eager to continue bridging the gap between the coast and the hinterland.
It's very fulfilling to know that you're playing a role in providing persons with the necessary information, providing people with, updating people rather, on things that are happening not just in our region here, but things that are happening in Guyana and even across the world, because that is what we do here at Radio Bartica. We just inform everyone about everything that is happening around the world and right here in Guyana.
At the end of the day, you can come and you can play your part, and you are part of the transition, the way forward, the process. It's more or less, it's a humbling experience, to be exact. You know that persons are there, and this is something that is being done for the betterment of our country's development, and you are part of that process.
I like to go and meet with persons in the streets. I have times when I would go take the recorder and I would go to the streets, because persons say it doesn't make sense you have a radio station and persons can't have access to it. So I would go into the streets and find out from persons what are some of their concerns, how they feel about Radio Bartica, if they're getting enough information. And when you hear them say, I listen to the radio every single afternoon when you guys are on from 5 o'clock, and they're enjoying the information that we are sending out, we just, it feels as though we are serving our purpose at Radio Bartica.
The Bartica airwaves are packed with several programs. Radio coordinator Sienna Prasad explains.
Monday is education, Tuesday, regional development, Wednesday, culture and sport is straightforward, Thursday, health, Friday, our entertainment or our little light segment. Saturday, Moose is showcasing talent and of course local musical area, but of course people love it for the music that we produce, and of course the greetings that we get to do a range of where the radio station is heading, because persons tune in for the music that we have and they send in their greetings so that they have an ownership that, okay, hi, my name is Heard. And then on Sunday social is a little bit serious. I normally bring a little bit of what's happening and try to give social issues an ear.
Radio Bartica was commissioned in 2017 by President David Granger and Prime Minister Moses Nagamutu. Reporting from Radio Bartica with videographer Anil Silal, Anara Khan for InfoHub.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority was once again commended as they continue to work to ensure the ordinary man in the street can become a homeowner.
And I finally got what I deserve. I'm long awaiting for, so thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate this. This is close, because this is living. From this now you could live. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to build and you're going to live. So this is what I had wanted.
That was small business owner Marlon Norton after he was allocated a plot of land at a government outreach in Bartica. Norton had applied for a lot back in 2011. The 53-year-old father of 4, who is currently paying a rent of $60,000 monthly, can now breathe a sigh of relief.
Well, I could see the cooking with gas right now. It's no longer firewood. Previously it was firewood, now it's gas. At least I know where I got a home for put my baby and not a rental and be disturbed by landlord, trampling for me and all them things, you know what I'm saying? So this is what I'd wanted.
He also commended the initiative taken by the government.
Well, I'm glad. I'm very much glad that the government reached out to the people, and which I knew that he's doing. And there's very little that he could do and no more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad about the whole situation. And I hope that he would continue to do more.
The ongoing exercise continues to address major concerns for persons on the spot, with some being life-changing for the ordinary man like Marlon. I am Isaiah Braffett with videographer Joanne Jordan for InfoHub.
That's all for today. Connect with us on WhatsApp, Facebook, and YouTube. Much more news is on our website, dpi.gov.gy, and pop over to Instagram for the latest photo updates at DPI Guyana. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Goodbye.